Hey, hey, it's Dana, your favorite psychic. Let's dive into Donald Trump today. Let's see what the Trumpinator Tater has to say about things. Because I'm seeing all over everything this big conspiracy, quote unquote, theory that Trump is sick, Trump is dead, Trump is gone. Let's just dive into the cards and see what the truth of it is, right? Because my cards don't lie. Let's see what the truth of the situation with Trump is. Yeah, let's figure out what exactly is going on here with President Donald Trump. Spirit. All right, you guys. All right. So this is what's happening with Donald Trump's health. Okay, this is a health reading for Donald Trump. We start out with the Seven of Cups. It's the first card out. It sets the tone for everything. Now, y'all bear with me a little bit because when I read about health, it's a little squeaky. When I'm channeling someone, it flows like a story. When I am channeling inside the body, the actual physical functions inside the body, it's sticky. Okay, so bear with me as I interpret these cards for you, okay? So the Seven of Cups, options, choices, decisions. Cups for me in a health reading is always about flow, fluids and flow, fluids and flow. And this Seven of Cups here tells me, clarified by the Three of Swords, that he is having heart problems. There is a problem with fluid in his body. It's like the fluid doesn't know where to go because the heart isn't working properly. Okay? Then we have the Lovers and the Empress. This tells me that this is a genetic thing that was inherited by his mother. Okay? Energetic exchange, the Empress being mama. This is an inherited genetic issue that was inherited from his mom. Okay? Now, the Seven of Wands in reverse talks about being overwhelmed. The Wands, for me, always talks about blood vessels, okay? So the Seven of Wands in reverse is an overwhelming challenge, all right? And I asked, what is this overwhelming challenge? And it was clarified by the Seven of Wands in reverse. So this tells me that his heart is not pumping the way that it should be pumping, and fluid is backing up because of it, all right? Now, he's been MIA for a couple of days. I think there was a picture of him playing golf the other day, and that is because there was some action taken. I think Trump has had some kind of a surgery in some way. All right? Chariot, hard, serious, fast action was taken. The King of Swords, some kind of very serious decision. For me, when I read for health, the King of Swords is usually some kind of a professional that says, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done right now. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is a sick card, okay? I mean, look at the people on the card, right? It's a card about sick. Pentacles, to me, when I'm reading for health, are about blood cells, okay? So somehow his blood cells are sick. Perhaps they're not getting enough oxygen. Perhaps they are not producing properly. But somehow, somewhere, someone made an immediate, serious decision to circumvent the way that the blood cells are flowing in his body. And the Lovers in reverse talks about rejection in a way, okay? And this King of Swords also talks to me about perhaps a stent. Perhaps he got a stent put in his heart. Interesting. Or in blood vessels some way, okay? Maybe not exactly his heart, but a stent put in some kind of a blood vessel to help his blood cells flow better, right? Flow better. All right. Second row, first card. The Devil in reverse. This is releasing from toxicity, okay? Because if your blood isn't flowing, if things aren't going, if your heart's not pumping the way that it should pump, for whatever reason, I mean, it could be that the kidneys are having a problem or the liver's having a problem and it's backing things up, causing problems for the heart, okay? But somehow there is an issue with his heart. And somehow, I do believe that there has been a decision to put a stent in his body somewhere to help blood flow, okay? The Devil in reverse. This is releasing from toxicity, okay? So what this stent or this surgery or this procedure has done is given his body a break from being toxic. Okay, and the Ace of Wands. This is new flow, right? Remember, blood vessels, new flow. Okay, the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles to the Four of Cups. Contemplation, reevaluation. What this fourth cup is doing in this card, as far as the inside of the body goes, is that it's offering more fluid. Okay, and the King of Pentacles talks about success. So this stent, this surgery, this procedure that has gone on is working for the moment. To the Four of Cups in reverse in the center of the reading. Four of Cups in reverse is apathy. Okay, now it's working for the moment, but I don't think anybody expects it to work long term. It's like a short-term fix for a long-term genetic problem that probably should have been addressed a long time ago. Look, the Knight of Wands, inspired action, flow, movement. The Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles talks about new opportunities, new blood cells, not new blood cells, but new movement of blood cells, right? And then the Six of Swords in reverse talks about stuck. Stuck. So I think the next impending problem for Trump is going to be a blood clot of some way. I do. I think that whatever, maybe he's on Warfarin, right? And that's where the bruising and the spots come from, because when you're on blood thinners, anything that causes any kind of blood disruption, even if it's a good bang, right, causes those bruises that we saw on his hands. So he's probably was prior to this on blood thinners. Possibly what this stint was to avert, avoid, or remove some kind of a blood clot that was happening in his body. I also want to say that he, as the Emperor with the next card right here, okay, he feels very, very rushed. He feels an urgent movement to get some things done before he can't get things done anymore. Okay, so you're probably going to see this guy going crazy with executive orders and meetings, and he feels this tremendous urgency to get things done. I also want to say, when I look at this King of Pentacles and this Four of Cups, I feel a reprieve, like he feels he's gotten a new lease on life, and that he has to hurry up and get done what it is that he wants to get done, because people are telling him that this is a temporary fix for a lifelong serious problem. Okay, the Emperor, this is him, this is how he sees himself, obviously the president, right? The Nine of Cups in reverse and the Six of Wands in reverse. Cups, water, is flow, right? Fluids and flow. Fluids and flow. The Nine of Cups in reverse is not fluid, not flowing. And the Six of Wands in reverse, remember I said that with the Wands energy, the fire energy, the imagery of this card is, for me, blood vessels. So again, this goes back to hurry, get done what needs to get done, because this is a temporary fix to ultimately a terminal problem. All right. With a lack of flow, right? Six of Wands in the upright is victory and success. In the reverse, it's not victory and success. And the Nine of Cups is leaking of fluid, the pouring of fluid, okay? So he needs to get done what he's got to get done ASAP. The sun in reverse. The sun in reverse talks about keeping it hidden. Look, the page of swords, the story that they're spinning, or the lack of a story that they're spinning, telling the American people, telling the world, and again to the sun in reverse, not seeing clearly. They're keeping this from the world and the American public, and obviously probably for national security reasons, right? But they are keeping it from the public. All right, third row, first card. The giving, the receiving, the sharing of prosperity. The Six of Pentacles, again, is blood to me. This kind of speaks to me of perhaps dialysis in some ways. It also speaks to me of a limited opportunity to do what needs to be done, okay? Eight of Wands in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse talks, or transfusions of some sort. Eight of Wands in reverse talks about a lack of forward movement. Remember, blood vessels, right? A lack of forward movement, clots. Two, Temperance in reverse. Temperance in reverse is not working at all. So I think whatever's going on here, I think the next step for this person is some kind of, well, it's Trump, is some kind of transfusion, some kind of dialysis, some kind of something that is going to try to replace something else in his body. Temperance in reverse, to me, as a reader, talks about leaking out the bottom of your life. In the upright, it's flowing and overflowing and peace and joy, and everything is just going the way that it's supposed to. In the reverse, it's not. In the reverse, it is completely and totally out of control. And the Eight of Wands in reverse talks about things not flowing, things not pumping properly, things not going the way that they should go. Now we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, a lack of teamwork and collaboration. This again, blood cells, somehow blood cells. And look, the Six of Cups in reverse, unresolved issues from the past. That goes back to the inherited issue that his mother has passed down to him somehow. It's a genetic issue. It's nothing that anybody can really do unless he has some kind of genetic therapy in some way. Interesting. So a lack of teamwork and collaboration in the blood cells because of what the mother passed down to him. Now, does it have to be in the blood cells? Not necessarily. It's about the blood and the cells. And if you think about a blood clot, what is that? It is cells all sticking together, right? Death in reverse. So if I have to call it, I'm going to say that if this man were to transition to the other side, it will be because of some kind of a serious blood clot that causes a stroke or a heart attack of some sort. Okay, death in reverse. And this is what he's trying to avoid with death in reverse. He is trying to avoid death. Hello? Yeah, trying to avoid death. This is also a card about an internal transformation. Okay, what's that? Well, it's the emergency surgery that had to be done to keep him from expiring. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Pentacles in reverse talks about coming out of the cold. It talks about regaining balance and some sense of well-being or security. And then the King of Cups in reverse talks about emotional volatility, which I'm sure this guy is experiencing. That's probably why he went golfing this weekend. He's got to get some kind of peace in his mind. And everybody all over the media that I watched this weekend, which I try not to watch, but I do check in like once a week. I sit and just watch everything that's going on or read about it, and then I put it away because I just don't want to live there. But this guy is playing golf because he needs to clear his head. He needs to find his happy place, right? All right. To the King of Cups in reverse, emotional volatility, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse, an inability to prioritize. Hold on, I'm going to re-explain this. Hold on. The Ace of Wands in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, and then the Eight of Swords. So, This is all Trump trying to come to terms with all of this, okay? Trying to come to terms with all of this. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is the opposite of that Five of Pentacles. Remember, they did the emergency stint, the emergency surgery up here, right? And now the Five of Pentacles in reverse is giving him a reprieve from that. He has averted the Death card, okay? Internal transformation, whatever this procedure was, seems to be working okay. However, King of Cups in reverse, this is going to be swelling. You're going to see this guy swell up, like huge swell up. He's not going to be in the public eye. He's not going to be pictured or on interviews or anything like that if he can possibly avoid it, because he's going to be swollen. The King of Cups, remember, water, fluids, right? In the reverse, his body can't process them properly. The Two of Pentacles in reverse, imbalanced, okay? So this procedure, it's working right now, but it's not going to continue to work. It's not going to continue to work. The Ace of Wands in reverse, remember, blood vessels. In the reverse, this is a blockage. In the upright, it's new opportunities, new beginnings, new flow of energy. In the reverse, it is a blockage of that. To the Six of Wands in reverse, a lack of success. This is not going to work for him. It's just not. It's not going to work for him because it's genetic and it's so far gone that it's like impossible to get it back to where it needs to be. And the Eight of Swords. And this guy is really, really, really scared right now. Bless his heart. He's scared. He's got the weight of the world literally on his shoulders, and his body is failing him. His body is failing him, and that's the sad thing about getting old is, man, your mind is there, right? But your body is failing you. And I think the medication that he's on and has been on for a minute, okay, let's repeat this. Okay, so the previous medication that he was on, perhaps to control this before the surgery, I think fogged his head. I think it fogged his head, and it fogged his speech, it fogged his thoughts. Okay, and that has to do with that Eight of Swords as well. And after the surgery, or the stint, or whatever this is that went on right here, right? Now the medicine that he's on is really, really fogging his head. And he doesn't like it. Hear that ambulance going by? He doesn't like it. And he's very, very scared, and he's very, very worried. Prince of Swords in reverse, but he's not telling anybody. Nobody's going to tell anybody. This is like a top secret. Two of Wands in reverse because of fear of the unknown, fear of the future. Number one, they don't want to freak the American people out. Number two, they definitely don't want everybody else to know that his health is this serious. Okay, and I bet you any money J.D. Vance, being the vice president, that's what they're supposed to do. They shadow the president so they can become the president. I bet you any money he is by Trump's side like 24/7, 365. The Hangman in reverse, resistance. This thing that they put in his body to make his blood flow better, to be easier on his heart, is not working. It's not going to work. It might be working temporarily now, but it's not going to work. The Hangman in reverse is about resistance. Resistance, delays, stalling, a backup of fluid, a backup all the way around. And look, it's followed by the Tower. This Tower is the stroke. It is the heart attack. It is the thing that is going to cause a public. When this Tower happens, they will make an announcement, and it will happen. It will happen. I'm going to get a timeline in a minute, but it will happen. The King of Swords, right? King of Swords is about having a plan in place when this Tower happens. It's also, I think, the authority figure telling Trump that his days are numbered and that this Tower is inevitable. To the Knight of Cups in reverse, again, water, fluids not flowing. You're going to see this guy blow up like a balloon. Knight of Swords, right? This is the message. This is him This is him trying to, well, first of all, Knight of Swords, okay? This Knight of Swords is them trying to keep it going, trying to keep his body going, trying to keep his fluids going. This Knight of Swords is also the announcement that this is happening. Two of Swords, crossroads. Okay, this announcement puts everybody at the crossroads. They are at the crossroads. Should they make this announcement or not? Should this happen, there is going to be something huge. And the announcement is the Two of Cups, that J.D. Vance is going to take over as as the president. Perhaps it's an announcement, because I don't see Trump, unless he dies, I don't see Trump giving up control. So perhaps it's going to be an announcement along the lines of J.D. Vance is now Trump's physical body, right? Trump gives the directives and J.D. Vance executes it. But this is the announcement that there's going to be a handoff of power in some way. The Wheel of Fortune. Turning point, huge, gigantic turning point, ginormous turning point. And then the Ten of Wands, because the burden and the struggle of being the President of the United States is no longer viable for this man. Okay, bottom of the deck. We have a bunch of cards on the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck. Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse talks about a lack of foresight, right? Again, genetic. Didn't see this happening, didn't see this coming, and I think it's something that has kind of sort of poked at him for a minute, but it's serious now, real serious. The Alchemist in reverse talks about an inability to manifest. It also talks about manipulation, and they are going to manipulate the situation. No one wants anyone to know that Trump isn't in control or in power, and that is very quickly going to happen. It's very quickly going to happen. The Alchemist in reverse, again, to the inability to manifest, right? Look at this card. So this is all of the functions of human nature. It's the mind, it's the emotions, it's the sense of well-being, and it's the inspirations, aspirations, and desires. It's the four elements that make up the human nature. When it's in the upright, everything is concentrated and focused, because that's what creates manifestation. In the reverse, it's complete and total system failure. And I do believe that is what is going to happen to this man. Complete and total system failure. Prince of Pentacles in reverse, stuck. What I say about Pentacles, blood cells, stuck blood cells. It is a stroke. It is a blood clot. It is a heart attack, a blood clot in his lungs, a blood clot in his heart, or a blood clot in his brain. That is what is going to take this man down. I'm sorry to say. The Fool in reverse, foolishness, not the path, not the purpose, not the way. Feeling very, very foolish, Eight of Cups in reverse, that he didn't deal with this a long, long time ago. Again, with that water energy, with the fluids, Eight of Cups in reverse is not flowing. Not flowing in the upright. Everything's flowing because this guy's decided that he's going to go in a different direction in his emotions. In the reverse, it's someone that doesn't walk away from something. And as far as health and the physical body goes, this is fluid buildup. Fluid buildup. Six of Swords in reverse talks about, it's the same Six of Swords that was in the center of the reading, right? This talks about not being able to move forward. This is mental baggage, weights around the ankles. Interesting. The ankles swelling, right? Weights around the ankles. Judgment in reverse talks about bad decisions. It talks about self-doubt. It talks about an inability to make decisions, which is why Vice President is the Vice President, right? No matter who it is, Vice President is the Vice President, because when this time comes, he's going to, or she, he in this instance, right, is going to step forward. So Trump is going to come to a point where he is unable to make decisions. The Hermit, soul searching, introspection. Let's see, to the Star. the path, the purpose, and renewal. And then the Hermit in reverse, the cutting loose of ties, commitments, obligations, authority, and power. So what these three cards are saying is that I think that Trump will ultimately make this decision. I think that Trump will ultimately be the one to say, here you go, JD, run with it. You come back to me, I'm going to give you the directives, and you go out there and you make it happen. That's the Hermit energy. This is Trump being deep inside of himself, trying to come to terms with what the next phase of his life looks like. Hermit in reverse is also about withdrawal, right? You will not see much of President Trump at all, until this finally happens. The Star talks about the renewal. This is passing of the torch to J.D. Vance. And then the Hierophant in reverse, this is Trump stepping down. Yes, yes, yes. Let's try to get a timeline on some of this. So, I would like to know the Tower, the Two of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. What is the... Okay. Got the Ace. The Ace of Diamonds, which is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. It's a 1 for sure. So tell me, confirm or deny, give me a time frame on this whole situation with Trump. When is Trump going to step aside? 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 Look, another ace. Interesting. And then we have, oh, look at this. Look at this. Interesting. Let's work this out. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So I do believe that between in January, we're going to see him begin the transition. And by February, the transition will be complete. February of 2026, the transition of power will be complete. The Ace of Diamonds is the Ace of Pentacles. The next Earth sign that we're going into is Capricorn. That puts us at December. And then the Ace of Clubs, the clubs is fire energy. The next fire sign that we're going into is Sagittarius. Okay? So Sagittarius into Capricorn. And then the Two of Diamonds is the Two of Earth. And that puts us at more Capricorn energy. 2 weeks into Capricorn energy, perhaps. And then the Two of Clubs talks about the Two of Fire. And that puts us back into Sagittarius energy. So I'm sticking with that. Absolutely. 100%. I do believe by the first of the year, Trump's health is going to completely crater. And by February, we are going to be in a complete turnover of power from President Trump to Vice President Vance. And my cards don't lie. So we'll see how this all works out. So, very interesting. We shall see how all of this plays out. We shall see, we shall see. I have a good track record so far. Pretty much everything that I've ever read about with celebrities and governments and world figures has come out to the T. So I am very interested to see how this comes out. I love to play this game. I love to test myself. And I love to see how everything unfolds. So we shall see. We shall see, we shall see. Namaste. Hey, I'm going to take my own commercial break right here and let you guys know that I have merch now. I do. In addition to my book, The 21 Concepts of Awakening, A Guided Journey to Expand Your Mind, I have created a collection of cups for your favorite beverage. So bounce on over to myfavoritepsychic.shop. Pick up a cup, pick up an audiobook or an ebook, head to the beach, head to the pool, go on that road trip, or just snuggle up in the AC and expand your mind.